Even rougher for this guy, Noe Lopez, as the severe winter weather swept through the South, left millions of Texans without power. He and his family were no exception. In fact, he told me when he got the call that he would be fighting here in Los Angeles. He was repairing a collapsed roof and leaky pipes. Said maybe not the most ideal timing, really grateful for this opportunity and plans to take a win home to his family and his Texans. Brian.
Heidi, thank you. It's been very rough for people in Texas, the frozen temperatures. But Noe Lopez gets a chance at a payday here. That'll be helpful. Has a pretty good record, 10-3-1. But he is 34. Mielnicki only 18. Vito is now 6 feet tall, so he's grown since he fought with Joe Goosen. He's up to 6 feet. Coming in both at the welterweight limit, reach about the same. Should be an interesting fight. Vito Mielnicki Jr., 7-0, continues his rise. Will it happen again tonight? Let's go to the ring and Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome from the Shrine Auditorium Expo Hall here in Los Angeles. Premier Boxing Champions presents a big night of action coming your way. It's Fox PBC Fight Night. And we extend a special welcome to the brave men and women serving around the world and joining us tonight on AFN, the American Forces Network. Introducing our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside, we have Max DeLuca, Dr. Lou Moret, and Zachary Young. All right, fans, here we go. Welterweights in the ring. We're scheduled 8 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with gold trim, fighting out of Houston, Texas, by way of Jalisco, Mexico. He weighed in at 146 pounds. His record stands at 10 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw, with 4 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Noe Skinny Boy Lopez. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, this 8-round attraction, wearing white trunks with green and brown trim, fighting out of and representing his home of Roseland, New Jersey. He weighed in at 146.5 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 7 wins, no losses, 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated young protege of boxing, known as White Magic, introducing Vito Mielnicki Jr. And our third man to the ring now to give instructions, Gerard White.
Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. This is good, this is good. Touch them up. Let's go to work, guys. Let's go.
Closed captioning is available for tonight's telecast. If you'd like to hear the broadcast in Spanish, you can click over to the simulcast on the Fox Deportes app. And there is Vito Mielnicki Jr., again out of Roseland, New Jersey, which is actually in the middle of the state. Although it sounds, Joe Goosen, like it's something Bruce Springsteen would be singing about, right? Like a boardwalk, carousel, and all that. But he's not from there, but he's very much a New Jersey guy, and we're underway here in round number 1. So Joe, what are your thoughts? I mean, you're watching this, you had this kid in camp. What do you look for? What do you hope for from Vito tonight?
Well, just to keep building off of his last fight. That's what you want to do with fighters. You want to build off their last fight, their last win. And I already like his body language already. He worked on his defense a lot where he feels comfortable being in front of a guy. Right there, he drew his hands back nice. He's looking to parry. We worked on parrying, blocking, head movement right there, a little up and down with the knees. And this way you can get in there and land some power shots, especially when a guy gives up ground like Noe's doing right now. So see that nice little slip right there, and pretty soon he'll start countering off that slip. Good left hook he just threw there. It didn't land, but it was a nice sharp thought.
Joe, I look at Mielnicki. He basically came out to university for a semester. and he learned a lot, because you're right, his body looks a lot better. He almost looks like a seasoned professional right now. So I like what he's doing. I like his
body language.
His body language. I like his vibe right now. It's good.
Tell you, Lopez there with a nice hook off that right hand earlier. He's in here as well, coming out of, as Heidi mentioned, some dire circumstances, a frozen house. But he's here and ready to fight. Gets right to the bubble in the hotel. Probably relieved just to have a warm hotel room. Even if they say you got to stay there for 5 days, you'd be like, sure, I can do that. Looking to bring some bread home to the family, certainly, and he's up against the unbeaten prospect.
Yeah, and Lopez threw a right hand to the body of Mielnicki, and Mielnicki quickly countered with a straight right hand. That impressed me right there, so I think that's a sharp move.
You know, Joe, I'll just jump in. The pace is different, though. Lennox, remember, again, you and I were just calling it together. That was back in Dallas and on the Spence Garcia undercard. And there was a real pace to Mielnicki in that first round. Do you remember that? It's a little different now.
Well, you know, every fight is different. You know, you want to size a guy up. This is an 8-rounder. It's a 34-year-old man in there with him. He's 18 years old. So he's got a lot of rounds to work with right now. But what I like what he's doing is using this round to not just move around the ring a lot. He's pressing Lopez, but he's doing it with a little panache, as we would say. I like what he's doing.
It's called the quiet press.
Right. And a good left hook he just landed right there. See?
Beautiful shot up the middle.
And
Mielnicki.
Talking to Lopez is very respectful of Mielnicki. He says that, throws some good punches, and he's had some good fights. So he's going in there, realizing that Mielnicki, he's a good fighter.
Final 15 seconds of round number 1, scheduled for 8. We get Jesus Ramos, 19 years old and also unbeaten, up next. Leading up to the main event, Anthony Durrell, Kyron Davis, underway in LA. And we're through round 1 here. And there is Jesus Ramos, 14-0. He is 19 years old. He is up next, taking on Jesus Emilio Bojorquez. Vito Mielnicki Jr. is 18 years old. And this is like, I throw in the age there, Joe and Lennox, because it's like talking about Fernando Tatis in baseball. It's like, this guy's young. These guys, 18-year-old kid. Lennox, where were you in your development at the age of 18?
I was winning the World Junior Championships in Santo Domingo. So there you go. I was an amateur champion.
When did you turn pro? How old were you, Lennox?
I would say about 19, 20.
Oh, wow, just after that. Wow, okay. These things we can look up, but the fact that you paused made me feel better. All right, Lennox isn't sure either.
Listen, that was a long time. That's a long time ago.
No, Lennox, believe me, I understand. But not again, Lennox is a blue chipper, Joe. He's too modest to say that, but still, this is a teenager fresh out of high school, and there's a lot of years in which he can learn on the job, get better and better. There's a long way to go here for Vito.
You can spend a lot of time in the gym, and the gym is a necessary part of this whole process, and you got to put in the rounds. Good body shot by Vito. But you can learn more in 6 rounds than you can in 3 months in the gym. And there's nothing like getting in that ring, getting the headgear off, small gloves, and fighting with the full adrenaline going, right, Lennox?
Yeah, what happens with that is because you want to. You've been sparring against great guys. Now you want to prove. You want to go out there and prove what you've learned. Show what you've learned.
Hey, Lennox, do you know how old you were when you turned pro?
How old?
23. So, give or take 4 years, Lennox. It's all right.
Well, I went. Okay, what age did I go to the first Olympics? Tell me my age when I went to the first Olympics.
We're working on that.
Tell him because he can't.
Oh, big right hand by Mielnicki, and down goes Lopez.
4.
Beautiful shot.
That right hand came out from nowhere.
Yeah, and Vito's really playing his hand real cool right now. He's just really focused, and he's got to be patient here. You don't want to just bum rush a guy when you hurt him. Take your time.
He's really been patient throughout this fight. That was a bolt of lightning with that right hand. And Lopez, again, experienced guy. He had no choice, just taken right off his feet.
Yeah, I was told a long time ago, when you hurt a guy like that, take your time, go to the body, because they're going to be protecting.
And Lopez going to the body nicely there, too, because you're right, Joe. He digs back in. He's in there. Yeah. He can scrap. He's experienced. Again, he's got 14 fights. He's in there to fight as well, even though clearly he got his bell rung there.
Yeah, this is a situation when you got your left hand down like Lopez, it's not really doing them any good being low. It actually would be an advantage if he kept it up to protect himself.
Yeah, he almost got hit with that right hand over that low left hand as well just a second ago. Good round.
I tell you, that was a very good round. And if you're wondering about the work rate, which I was, that answers all questions. Let's go to the corner now, and that's Muhammad Abdul Salam in the corner with Mielnicki.
I just need a little bit. Okay. I just need a little bit more on the stick.
Okay.
Right? You're looking for the perfect counter. Make him shoot the jab and then give me the counter.
Okay.
But if you're using the stick, he gets desperate, throw the shot, then we rock over and let it go.
Okay.
All right? And you put him down, you're going to put his hands up.
All right, let's go back now and watch the replays. We come back, and there's shooting out with and that right hand coming right over the top.
What that was is Mielnicki rolled. He rolled from his left under the jab to his right and came out. See, that's not an easy thing to do. He did do it in that first fight. You had a replay of that, and here's a little slip and go. But, yeah, he rolled under that jab and came out on the other side and dropped that right hand. That was a nice move.
We'll watch it in real speed, see how fast that right hand was. That's fast.
Yeah,
that is fast.
Yeah.
And that was well said by Professor Joe Goosen.
Well, thank you. But that's something we do work on. That's a move, and one of several moves that you got to work on when you're inside and you got your head in that pocket there. You can't keep it there.
How does that feel? The fact that you worked on it and he did it.
Well, no. I always feel great when anybody I work with does well, but I got to tell you, he was a great student. See, that's it. He was determined to learn all this stuff, and he was one of my best students ever. I really enjoyed working with Vito.
And we're in the third round right now. Heidi Androl is here as well. Heidi, what do you have?
Yeah, just want to piggyback on what Joe was saying. I spoke to Vito's father yesterday, who told me, you know, you become great when you can close the show, and that's really what they want to see from Vito. So we'll see if he starts to press here. In terms of Joe, you know, he said that was the best 6 months that he spent, and he also said he wants to, you know, tell you, Joe, that they gave you credit for the chicken parm, but it really wasn't as good as theirs. They will give you credit for the California tacos, though.
Right. See, I was trying to do the Italian thing in the kitchen, and I came pretty close. I mean, I think Vito liked it. The dad was a little bit harder to please.
Well, yeah, look, you're competing against quite a bit the Mielnickis in New Jersey.
Right, exactly.
Had some good hooks there by Mielnicki as well, just as Heidi was starting off and saying he's going to try to close the show. That'll have a wilting effect on Lopez.
Yeah, you see what Mielnicki's doing as well? He's giving it a little bit pressure and putting Lopez closer to the rope so he can't escape. And I know he's going to come across with a good combination right when Lopez is against the ropes. And Lopez is not really throwing any punches. He's kind of flipping his hand out there. That's the wrong thing to do.
Well, right hand is quick as well from Mielnicki. That's the one that he dropped him with in round 2. And here, that is fast. He's showing a lot of patience here. There's a right hand again. Lopez fires back, so a little spunk left.
And that'll make you not throw a lot of punches, because when every time you try something you get countered, it'll make you.
Well, like I said, Lopez, every time he throws that left jab out there, he drops his hand.
Mielnicki now has him hurt on the ropes, banging away with the right hand. He's trapped in the corner, nowhere to go. Tries to slide out, and he does. But still, back in the other corner, another right hand lands, and another.
I like what Vito's doing. He's staying patient. He's not going hog wild here. He's turning up the speed, but he's staying under control still.
And he's not being a headhunter.
No.
He's throwing good combinations to the body and to the head.
Lead hook before.
This is not going to last.
Able to mix it up, and Lopez is hurt, wilting against the ropes into the corner, and now he's trapped. Mielnicki with a chopping right hand again.
Yeah, he's
has his man hurt. Another right hand lands.
Ooh, boy, that's
now to the body, hooks to the head in a beautiful combination, and it's over. That's it.
That's how you finish it.
Oh, the referee stopped that.
Gerald White steps in.
You're hurt.
Lopez isn't complaining.
I'm good.
Gerald White explaining.
You're all right.
You know, I don't object to that stoppage at all. I think White was going in, and you could see the body language and the amount of energy that Lopez had at that point. We knew where it was going. Joe, I don't know about you. I'm fine with that.
Oh, 120%. 120%. There was still about 20 seconds left, and you could see that Lopez was getting turned around by right hands. Then Mielnicki was dropping, left hooks to the body, left hooks to the head. He was reeling off combination. It wasn't going to get any better, trust me.
Vito Mielnicki with a knockout victory. He was patient, took his time, and then when he had his man hurt, again, Nóe López came out with a bit of a spark, but it just got beaten out of him by that baby-faced kid right there. Now, Vito Mielnicki Jr. with a knockout victory. Let's hear it from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 50 seconds in round number 3. Our referee in charge, Gerard White, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of knockout, and he is still undefeated. White Magic, Vito Mielnicki Jr.
The now 6 feet tall Vito Mielnicki Jr. now 8-0, 5 of his 8 wins coming by knockout. He was patient in this fight, so we'll go back through this fight. And again, Lennox, I mentioned at the stop, it was not like his last fight. It was a little more patient this time. Let's go through it.
Yeah, he showed some real poise in this fight. Just how he came out like he's very confident. Defense was up. He was looking. His eyes were good. He seen the advantage where he could throw that right hand, and he did it. Throws that overhand right great. Not only that, he was throwing to the body, and he wasn't getting hit.
And they're in the round 3. The knockdown was in the second round, and then this is round 3. And we're talking 33 punches landed by Mielnicki, and Joe, 30 of them were power shots.
Yeah, had I never seen Vito Mielnicki before, and this was the first time I had ever seen him, I'd go, wow, this kid is only 18 years old. He's going to be champ one day very easily. And I got to tell you, knowing him, and he's coming over here right now to say hi. There he is.
You look unbelievable. Let's talk. Oh, you look great. You look great. That was so good. All right, talk to you.
Yeah.
There we go. Go. What do you say, Joe? Tell us.
You know.
It's
right, then don't tell us.
It's emotional.
All right, tell you what, he's there now with Heidi Angel. Let's go to Heidi. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Brian. I saw a nice respect to Joe Goosen there. What'd you say to him?
No, just thank you for everything. Joe taught me a lot in the 6 months I was out in LA, and I'll take all that for the rest of my career because I know he has the recipe to be great. It's not that it didn't work. I just miss my family. I was always family-oriented growing up. So I wanted to get back to Jersey and be with my mom, my little brother who's growing up. He's 11 years old. And speaking of family, it's my grandpa's birthday. So I want to wish my grandpa a happy birthday. But yeah, Joe, nothing but he's the best. He's the best.
You put on a pretty impressive performance here tonight. Your father told me, you become great when you can close the show. You were able to do that tonight. How happy are you with this performance?
I'm happy with my performance. The past 2 weeks, I actually left LA 2 weeks ago, so I came back to Jersey for 2 weeks, and everything just came full circle and full form, and I put on a great performance, and my first time on Fox in my first 8-rounder, so I'm happy.